Hey, how's it going? Today I'm going to be talking about all flash, no bank, and what that is. There's no traditional term for this particular term. I just thought about it. So, but overall, with the last uh, 10 or so videos, perhaps more than that, I've been discussing different business models or ways how you can structure a business. Other than that, the reason why I'm doing this video is so more people would begin venture into different businesses and start business and perhaps start making and generating money. Once you start doing that, perhaps then you might be interested in approaching different strategies or looking for consultants. Myself or my company, I might be interested in supporting you. So that's one of the reasons why I'm doing those videos. And all flash, no bang, because that's where I'm coming from. So if I would be able to provide you with some education or some fundamental, bring you up to speed with all the fundamentals of where to begin when it comes to business, perhaps not necessarily right now, would that be 2, perhaps 4, 5 or 10 years from now, once you would begin venture into not necessarily having a job, but having more ambitions and perhaps be interested in more having more responsibilities and starting your own business, and you need an assistance. Perhaps we can work together then. We can, if you already have existing business, that's great. Or if you perhaps have some capital that you look to put into good use, we could perhaps work that. But overall, I would be looking to improve overall IQ and education when it comes to understanding some of the terms related to business, finances, different operations, strategy, everything what you would need to know about business and where to begin. If we were focused, perhaps if we would focus on a lot of visuals, perhaps in the beginning, if, instead of focusing on that, if we would focus on content itself as well as value of information and begin perhaps slowly, bring everyone up to speed, even if that would be reading a contract or sending some of the contracts. People on other side, especially me, not necessarily would be able to understand the lingo. Hopefully, with this channel, we would be able to bring as many people as we can up to speed, what would be required to some extent, what operations can look like, how strategy can look like, how to structure business, how to develop the business, how to run the business, and some of the things that might be required of you as a business leader. uh, if you interested perhaps right now, feel free to reach out to me via email or whatever you might be. Would that be perhaps someone who is interested in copyright, sales, marketing? Perhaps you doing some work within manufacturing, perhaps within social media management. Feel free to reach out to me. In this particular instance, I would be keen in working with those type of group of people. Is something that I would need. Perhaps not necessarily just what I need. Perhaps if you need any assistance, feel free to reach out to me, and we can collaborate on different projects of what you might be interested in, what you might need at this moment, and we can build everything from there. I would be receiving some of those emails if you sending me any emails. Perhaps uh, if you can put a little bit more information in those emails, so we can understand each other what you're looking for, how can I address some of the problems that you have, as well as how we can work together. Most of the time, would approach it, so we would schedule a meeting. We'll sit down and have a chat, so we'll understand each other a little bit better, uh, and we will take it from there. Yeah. Actually, I don't know how many people actually can pull a trigger, right? So there's a lot of people out there who might be talking a lot, or use a lot of fancy words, flash words, and would not necessarily be people who would be able to pull a trigger. If you can pull a trigger, if you can lean on the pen, right? If you were, perhaps if you are not right now, perhaps in the future, if you would become decision maker and you would be able to take action, I'm interested to work with those people. Perhaps not necessarily on your projects, not necessarily on my projects. We can potentially work in a completely different way where we could source or different finance to solve particular problems, and we can share our expertise in that sort of way where we'll agree on terms and conditions of how we can operate together. We can approach the different projects like that. For those of you who would like to do better physically, perhaps you would like to begin by your having workout schedule, daily routine, training plan. I have shared a lot of information in my recently published book, Project Fit Flow. And if you're interested in this book, I'm sharing, as I always do, how you can potentially uh, begin thinking about if you really enjoy working out, it's something that you could do all the time. Perhaps how you can start making money out of doing that. Even that, yeah, I would. If you're really good at something, right? If you can, then do that for free. That would be one way to approach even the fitness industry. For those of you who would like to learn more, feel free to purchase this book. You can find it on my company's website as well as top retailers. Uh, Even right now, let me share a story, quick story with you. Usually, how based on different governments, normally how they are structuring finances with different governments, they have allocated finance every so often, about every 2 or 4 years or so, allocated budgets to solve particular problems within different territories. And currently, I'm talking about UK. Within UK, even right now, they have allocated certain amounts of budgets to improve local businesses. So finance is there. I'm reaching out to those organizations right now. It's looking for opportunities how we can potentially collaborate and work together. Depending on there are smaller communities, which is very interesting to working with those communities as well as larger communities, large groups of people, and different regions operating differently within the UK. Would that be perhaps not necessarily limited to UK? And I'm meeting a lot of interesting people, so it just opportunities are there. That's what I'm trying to say. All of opportunities are there for those of you who are potentially currently stuck within your current circumstances. Perhaps if you could at least cover or break even all your money going out currently, if you could start bringing some money in just to cover your expenses and break even, perhaps then you can start beginning about the way how you can start a business and generate money from your business. There's different ways how you can do it, as well as there are different options out there where people potentially can offer you money to solve particular problems for governments, for different businesses. So they offer finance to solve the problem. So even not necessarily you have a finance, but you would be looking for finance and you're willing to work. There are people who are interested to finance your activities or sweat that you would bring to the table. To very least, you need to have understanding of how to make sure that you would be able to deliver those projects, right? So education and some of the areas and information that I'm sharing right now within this channel would be how to understand how to deliver those projects. That would be one of the most important things to cover, I guess, since the landscape is constantly changing. Industry is constantly moving, and sometimes is moving very rapidly, and things are changing very fast, right? to the least, if you do not have finance, perhaps you can bring your blood, sweat, and tears to the table. And if you have understanding how to do it, especially in the beginning, perhaps to reduce the risk, you might be interested in smaller projects. Begin with those, build momentum, and progress from there. For those of you who would like to, just to summarize, for those of you who would like to learn more, in this video I'm talking about all flash, no bang. For those people out there who are ready to pull the trigger, feel free to reach out to me and we'll see what we can do together. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next one.